Hello, welcome back to Slay the Spire. We're back. I've set everything up already, and everything is set and prepared for Ascension 1. So that is what we'll be going through and playing. Just adjust the camera a little bit there. I realised we got the 3 gold that starts off with this, but you also start with 2 extra gold from playing solo. So when you play solo, you start with 2 gold and this. So that is the bonuses that we get. We didn't give ourselves less money last time. That was all correct. So we're going to start again on Ascension 1. Hopefully this time we're still ironclad. We've got the slime now as the boss that we'll come up against instead. And hopefully this one can go a little bit better. But we'll have a look at what our first 3 rewards are going to be. Perfected Strike, Flex, and Inflame. Inflame, just gaining yourself a strength from the get-go, but costs you 2. I'm going to go Perfect Strike or Perfected Strike again. I do enjoy Perfected Strike. It can work quite well with like some big strength decks. So we'll go for that. Now we can upgrade a card, add a random rare card to your deck, or gain +10, and then gain a curse. Add a random rare card. Let's add a random rare card. Let's see what we get. We haven't got a rare card yet, and then this can determine what we end up doing as our what we end up doing. Boom. Bludgeon, yes, okay. 7 damage, that is huge. So that's essentially going to be what we're going to be doing with that then is we're going to be running a strength deck. We're going to be trying to get as much strength as we can and dealing as much damage as possible. And cool, let's start the first encounter. Oh, we've actually got a double one here of the fungi beasts. The fungi beasts. Both of which, one has 6 health, one has 5 health. Got some rolly dice, and when they die, they put vulnerable onto us. So we'll be taking double damage. So let's do this. Draw 5 cards. Let's roll. Hopefully we get some type of... Perfect. 1 armor straight away. Good start. So, on a 5, they're going to gain double strength, and they're going to deal 1 damage and do a strength. So, because this guy's going to gain... Oh, this guy's going to gain double strength. Or, do you know what? I think taking the 1 damage would be more worthwhile. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend 2 to deal 2 damage to this guy and put a vulnerable on him. And that's now going to put him into 4 HP. I could then strike him to get him down 2 HP. And I think I will do exactly that. I kind of want to get rid of this guy as soon as possible, I think. But our best case scenario is going to be, you know, getting rid of both of them on the same round. So now this guy's on 2 HP. That is going to be the end of our round. So we'll discard our hand, go see enemies phase, so they're going to gain 2 strength tokens. And this one's going to deal 1 damage and gain 1 strength token. That damage is just going to be negated from our block. Come to the next round. Do a roll. 3, so we don't get the armor this time. But we do have bludgeon, and we have perfected strike. Perfected strike is going to be dealing 4 damage in 1 hit. What are these guys doing? You're going to be dealing 3 damage, and you're going to be dealing, or both of them are going to be dealing 3 damage because of the strength. Okay, kind of unfortunate, because if we kill one of them, then they're going to be dealing 6 damage. So either way, we're going to be taking 6 damage overall, I think. And there's nothing we can really do about that. So... Okay, we're going to play Perfected Strike then. And Perfected Strike is going to... I'm just going to lock this onto the board. And we'll lock this as well. So Perfected Strike, that's going to deal 4 damage. And we're going to have it deal 4 damage to this guy. Oh, actually... I kind of want to keep the one on lower health. It'll be easier to kill, right? But then we're going to need to spend another one to do that and not have any block by doing it that way. I would kind of like to block. Yeah, sorry. We'll do Perfected Strike, actually, and instead we'll kill this guy. I know it's using Perfected Strike on something that's not on that much health, but we'll kill this person. We're just going to flip his card over for now. Obviously, he loses his strength tokens. And then we've got 1 mana left over, and what I'll do with that 1 mana is... we're not going to be getting a big strike anytime soon. So I think I'm honestly just going to shield it up instead of dealing that 1 damage. We'll give ourselves 1 shield. So we'll discard our hands. He's then going to deal 3 damage to us. So that's 1, 2, 3. Draw back up to 5 cards. Reset the deck. Reset the deck. Reset the deck. Okay. Don't know what it was doing there. And we will roll. And that's a 5. So cool. That's a good start that we get to start off with an armor there. And we can put a vulnerable on. He's going to be dealing 2 damage and gaining a strength. That's not too bad. We're going to straight away hit him with a bash. So that is going to be 1, 2 damage and a vulnerable token on you. And I think on top of that, we will... We'll hit them. We'll tank the other damage instead of defending 1. So we'll hit them for 2. That's going to get rid of the vulnerable. He's going to be on 1 HP. Discard our hand. He's going to hit us then for 2 damage. So that is 1, 2. It's just going to be the 1 damage. And he's going to gain another strength. But this is probably near guaranteed dying. There we go. We've even bludgeoned him. Just use all 3 of our mana to bludgeon him. Doesn't even matter about the roll. We've got the armor anyway. He's dead. He is donezoed. So the rewards from that, we're going to gain 1 gold. I'm going to try and see about spreading out my gold. So I'm going to get, there's 5 gold here. So I'm just going to get rid of that and do it like that to make it smaller. We get a potion, which is a weakness potion, which is quite nice. I do enjoy a weakness potion. And then we're going to have a card reward. So let's put the deck down here. Let's reset the deck. Card rewards. Gain armor to any player. Exhaust a card in your hand. Whenever you exhaust a card, draw a card, and Wild Strike, where we get to deal 3 damage, but we get dazed. It's not... I think I might take Wild Strike. We're all about trying to deal damage here, and I think we can deal with the daze. I don't think that's going to be a terrible card to actually have into our deck. So we'll add that to our deck. We'll shuffle that up, and we'll remove the enemies. Right, the path that we want to take this time. Where are we thinking? Because now instead, we've got a shop here. We do have gold, but not like a tremendous amount of gold where I think going to the shop will be worthwhile. But I think these are the only shops that we have. Oh, we've got a shop there. But unfortunately, we don't really have it where we can go through too many bonfires to upgrade cards. And upgrading cards, I do think, maybe a little bit more essential than the shops itself. So if we was to move our way upwards through here, I don't know why my line ain't showing. It's not allowing me to draw on the thing anymore. How dare they? So if we basically move up here, is what I'm thinking, and we'll go to the bonfire instead. Upgrade our card, and then move through to this way, and then we have a bonfire right before an elite, so we can sit there and get ourselves an extra relic, hopefully, and then go to the end. I think that might be the play, and then we'll be having our gold saved for next round, or maybe one of the mysterious encounters are going to be it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 mystery encounters, but then 1, 2, 3 men that we're going to be killing. We'll see. We'll go up 1. We'll go and do the mystery encounter first. Random encounter. Oh, I hate this guy. Wheel of Change. It's time to spin the wheel. Are you ready? Of course you are. First of all, let's heal up 1 HP because I didn't do that at the end of round. Let's roll. That's a 3. Remove a card. Not terrible, but honestly not entirely sure what to remove. I'll probably remove a strike, actually. Remove a strike. Cool. Not too shabby. And then we're going to go up and we're going to have an encounter. So it's going to be a large slime. We're about to kill your mum, slime. So it's going to deal 1 damage. Then it's going to go down and deal 4 damage, give us a dazed. And then it's going to summon. And when it summons an acid slime at the start of the next round. So that is something that we're not going to want it to do. So what we will do then, shuffle up our deck, go draw 5, do a roll. It literally stopped in the edge. You see that? I'm re-rolling that. I don't care. I didn't get it either way, but that literally, like, I zoomed out and it was just static in the air. I want to keep an eye on that dice. Cool. We love starting with Bash. Bash is such a good starter. That's just 2 damage from the bat. Put a vulnerability token on him. And instead of hitting him, I'm going to use my other one just to gain the 1 shield. Discard our hand. He's going to then deal 1 damage to us. He's got no strength token. So that's going to deal 1 damage to us. We're just going to put our armor back down. And we go to the next round. It was a good start. Roll the dice. It's a 1. And we've got bludgeon. Oh, we're going to kill it. So we're going to spend all 3 of ours to bludgeon. That's 7 damage. With the vulnerable, that's double damage. That's 14 damage. And he's on 6 HP. And he's gone. Very quick fight. I'm very happy with that bludgeon. It's very good. So we grab that. We're going to grab a potion. This time it is going to be the cutting potion, where we get 3 attacks, where we treat each attack as a separate 0-cost attack, which is very nice. And we get a card reward. Oh, let me put these. Got these ones. Should have discarded that hand first. This Shrug It Off is what we were looking for on the other deck, and I will be taking that Shrug It Off now. I think it's always good to have Shrug It Off, because it's just a way of obviously gaining armor and being able to draw a card to potentially go into something else. It's a really good thing to have. So, that is fine. We'll go back up to 3. You are dead, sir. Goodbye. We have got 7 coinage. I would like more coins before we go into another play, so we'll do a random event. Lab. Each player gains a potion. Roll the die once for each of the party. And someone else gains an extra one. So we're just going to need to roll the die once. We don't get an extra potion, but we do get 1. And we've got Ancient Potion, which removes all weakness and vulnerable from your character. We can only have 3 potions. If we now gain any more, we need to discard some. So that's cool. We're going to move over to the bonfire, in which, we need to heal 1 from that slime as well. And from that bonfire, we will upgrade. I'm thinking maybe... Oh, it's between Perfect Strike and Bludgeon. I suppose Bludgeon already does so much damage. So I think I'm going to upgrade. Oh, I don't know, because Wild Strike could be quite good. I'm actually going to have a look. What is Wild Strike upgraded? It's 4 damage. It's 4 damage as opposed to the 1. Which is pretty good. But, I'll put it back in the upgrade deck. It is pretty good. I think we'll go with Perfected Strike though for now. We'll keep it simple. We'll upgrade Perfected Strike. Plus 2 damage for each extra strike that you have in your hand. Very nice. Cool. And then we'll go for an encounter. Let's try and get some more gold. It's a red slaver. Not too bad. Do that. We'll roll. That is a 4, which is going to be 1 armor. And for them, it's going to be 2 damage and a vulnerable. But the vulnerable gets put onto us last. Not terrible. Ah, look at that as a combo piece. We're going to bash, which is going to deal 2 damage. 1, 2. And apply vulnerable. Then we're just going to straight up wild strike. And that is going to be 3 times 2, 6 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 2 HP. But that's going to put a dazed into our deck. And you put that into the top of the draw pile. So it means we're going to be drawing that next round. That's fine. We'll discard our hand. He's going to do 2 attacks or 2 damage to us. That's going to be 1, 2. And we're going to get vulnerable on us. And then it comes to our turn again. So we draw 5 cards, roll the dice. 5, so we get an armor. Lovely. And we've got bludgeon. And we'll just bludgeon. We'll overkill that. We'll straight bludgeon. And obviously this gets taken out. And cool. That's him dead. Get rid of our vulnerable. Reset the deck. And put our armor down. So we get 1 gold from that. And we get a card reward. Twin Strike. Gain strength. Lose 1 HP. That's not a terrible idea. But I think we're going to go with Twin Strike. Because Twin Strike, that does 1 damage for each hit. But if it's got... if it doubles up on it, like if you have strength, it will double up from strength. So even if we just manage to get 1 strength, that's going to be 2 damage per hit. So that's 4 damage. So let's heal 1 HP. On the attack, remove the enemy encounter. And you know what? We're in kind of a good spot. A part of me is thinking... I was thinking about going to the elite there, but there really is no point. We'll go up here. First relic, the Gremlin Horn. On a 4, we get to draw a card. On a 5, we gain an extra energy. That's actually really nice. And then we go to a random encounter. Transform a card or transform 2 cards and get a curse. We will transform a card. And I think the card will transform. And I know we just got it. But I think I'm going to transform Twin Strike. I think we'll transform Twin Strike. And that's going to transform into Burn Impact. Exhaust 1 card in your hand and draw 2 cards. Not happy with that one. We will get rid of that card when we can. We're now going to go to the Bonfire. And we're going to upgrade a card. Honestly, Shrug It Off could be a good idea to upgrade. Just to get the extra. But then Bludgeon could be nice just to have, like, I don't know how much extra damage it does. But just dealing that extra damage could be nice. Even just the... I think we're going to upgrade Shrug It Off. We've upgraded some attacks. We've got quite a lot of attacks. Let's see if we can just... Oh, sorry, not Shrug It Off. I'm actually going to upgrade one of our default defenses. Because, you know, Shrug It Off gives us 2 armor already. At least if we upgrade a default defense, that gives us 2 armor that we can get. I think that's just going to be nicer for us. Just to have more forms of ways to be able to get multiple defense out of it as opposed to just one. Okay, and now we're going to go for the Elite. The Gremlin Knob again. Look, I've got your horn, mate. I've got your horn. Oof, almost. That's a 1, so we don't get anything from that. Let's draw 5 cards. Right. Oh, straight with the perfect strike. That's going to be really nice, and we'll do that straight away. So that is going to be 2 energy. That's 3 damage plus 2 for each strike we have. We have 1 strike, so that's 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I will straight up Wild Strike it as well for the last one. For another 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, so 9 HP. And we put Daze onto the top of our deck. That's the end of our turn, so we'll discard our hand. They're going to not do anything. They're just going to come in rage, so we can't play skills now. You shouldn't be there. So let's go ahead and continue on to that. Just double checking that it was below 20. So, draw 5 cards. Roll. That is a 4, which we get to draw an extra bonus card, and we get an armor up, which is nice. So he's going to be dealing 3 damage to us. And we just have skills, which kind of sucks. He's going to be dealing 1 damage to us per one that we hit. So I think what we'll do is we're going to play 1 to deal damage. 1 damage. Play a second one to deal a 2nd damage. And then after you play a skill, take 1 damage. What I'll do is I'll play a defend. And I believe what that means. So we'll play the defend. So that's going to give me 2 defense. And then I'm going to take 1 damage from that defense. So that's not too bad. And then we'll discard our hand. He's then going to deal 3 damage to us. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So we take 1 hit, and he's going to gain a strength token. Dangerous stuff. Dangerous stuff. Flip that. Put this around. Oh, sorry. No. I played a defense, didn't I? So that is going to be... This would have to be in my hand. So I reshuffled the deck. It should be like that. Okay. How much health are you on? 7 health. Perfect. We'll just play Bludgeon. And that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dead. Cool. Lovely. I wonder what happened if I click discard hand. Oh, I put it up there. That's really nice. Happy with that. Okay, so that is 2 coins. 2 more coinage that we get. We're on 10 coins overall, which is very nice to enter a shop with. We get a little treasure, which this one is Neilry's Codex. On a 2, we draw a card. On a 4, we trigger a 2 ability. Its owner gains the effect. Interesting. And then we get card rewards. Body Slam. Look, I love you, but you're kind of useless for this deck. Do you know, it's bad that I want it, but we're going to take Fire Breathing. The reason we're taking Fire Breathing is if we draw any status cards, we deal 2 damage to the row. We have the Wild Strike that gives us a status card, which means it's going to deal another 2 damage when we end up drawing this one. And then also the Slime boss gives you the status cards as well. So that's going to be very good for us in what we're currently going up against as a reason for that. Alright, we'll heal ourselves to 1 HP from our end of turn trinket. Remove the enemy, and we go to the next random room, which in this case is Wing Statue, We can pray to remove a card and lose 2 HP, or we can gather gold. I think I'll lose 2 HP to remove a card, because we do have that useless card that we're just not going to use. So I'll lose 2 HP and remove this card. Bump, bump. And we are at the bonfire. Now, this time, instead of sitting there and upgrading a card, like what we done last time, I'm going to rest at the bonfire. And as you can see in the bottom right there, rest, heal 3 HP or Smith upgrade, and I will heal. So we'll go to full health, and we'll be entering this battle at full health. All right. So let's go ahead and fight the big bad. There he is. So, the slime boss. You can see that on the first attack, he's going to give us 3 dazed or slime cards. And that's a stasis card. So every one of those that we end up then drawing, it's going to go into our discard deck first. But every one of those we end up drawing is going to deal 2 damage to the entire row. So even when this guy splits, it's going to be damage that just gets dealt passively. Then he's going to deal 3 damage, and then 6. So it kind of doubles up. And he is on 22 HP. So, and on split, on death, at the start of the next round, summon a large slime, an acid slime, and a spike slime in that order from the summon deck for each player. So, let's have a look then. Let's shuffle this deck up, draw 5 cards. Let's roll the dice, see if we get anything juicy. That is a 4. So, we gain 1 armor, we get to draw an extra card, and on a 4, we trigger a 2 ability, which this Nilo's Codex has another 2 ability, so we get to draw another card. What a lovely starting hand. And with that starting hand, I honestly think we might just use all of it to bludgeon. Honestly, we'll just use all 3 to bludgeon, because that's going to be the most damage that we're going to get. We don't want to use Wild Strike yet, because we don't have the thing that benefits from the status card. So I'm going to use all 3 of my mana to just do a bludgeon. Discard the hand. It's going to be 7 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Goes down to 15 health. And now he is going to do 3 thingy cards onto us. And that is going to go 1, 2, 3. Straight into our discard pile. As you can see, you put it into your discard pile. You need to play an energy to get rid of it. To exhaust it. So that goes down. That comes back up. Goes to our turn. We draw 5 cards. We get to do a roll. That's a 6. So we get to trigger a die ability. So I'm going to trigger this ability so we can get 4 energy with that 6. Because I think that is better. Okay. Yes, that was actually a really good shout for us. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to spend 2 energy to do 2 damage with Bash and put a vulnerable status on him. And then with the last 2 energy we now have, because we have 4, we're going to use Perfected Strike. So that's 3 damage, plus 2 for each other card with Strike. We have 2 other cards with Strike. So that's going to be 7 damage that we're going to be dealing then. But because he's got the vulnerable, that's going to be 14 bits of damage, and he is on 13 HP. So that is just straight up killing the guy. He's on 0 HP. That's what that does. And you can see as well that on death at the start of the next round, he summons. On death at the start of next round, he summons and does that. So he's died, and the start of the next round happens. It would be when we start. So we can basically he doesn't do any attack. So he's gonna split into what the other things are, which is going to be there. And this is who we're going to be going up against now. So we need to discard our hand. This goes back up to 3. We draw up to 5 cards. And our fire breathing's right at the very end there. And we're going to roll and see what we're going to have. It's a 3, which is nothing. So that's going to be 4 damage. That's going to be devastating. We got 4 damage, we got 2 damage, and we got 1 damage. So we have 7 damage coming in. 7 damage coming in hot, which is not going to be very nice. So what I will do, I think, I'm going to spend 1 to get fire breathing out. And that's a status card, so that stays up here. Because we will be, now that everything's been reshuffled, there's a high chance we're going to be drawing in some curses and being, like, being able to start dealing bonus damage now to everyone. I think I'm then definitely going to play defend, so we can gain 2 armor. Actually, yeah, no, we'll play defend to gain 2 armor. There's nothing that we can do to really kill someone here, so we're just going to play Wild Strike to deal 3 damage. And I suppose we'll deal 3 damage to this one, because it looks like this one's going to be the one that deals more damage to us overall, apart from obviously the large slime. We do want to try and, like, kill someone so we can have, like, damage. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And in fact, actually, it could be good, because when we get a status card, it will kill him off, and we're guaranteed getting a status card next turn, because we've got the Dazed that needs to get put onto the top of the deck. So, discard our hand. It goes to their turn, so that is going to be 4 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 2 damage, 1, 2, and another Dazed, and that is going to be 1 damage and another Dazed. So we're drawing 3 Dazeds here on this next turn. So this fire breathing is going to come on quite well. It goes to our turn. Put our energy up. Draw 5 cards. Roll the dice. That is 5. So that means we gain 1 armor from that. We gain 1 energy from that and nothing from that, but that's a good start. So we've drawn all status cards. That's actually terrible. So these get exhausted because as soon as you draw them, they're ethereal. They'll get exhausted at the end of the turn. But because we've got, whenever you draw any of these status cards, we just draw all of them. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 damage that we are now doing to the entire row. So 10 damage would remove this. That one's on 2 HP now. 10 damage will kill him, and 10 damage will kill him, which is fantastic. And he's going to be dealing 3 damage to us for that. So that's going to... What we'll do is then we'll spend 1, 2 energy to get rid of these. We don't need to pick them back up again. And you know what? We're actually use this. So there's no point really using that, because he's going to deal 3 damage to us with exhaustion cards. You heal back up to full at the start of the next act. So there's no point me really using the potion if I know I'm going to survive, so we won't bother. These get taken out because of ethereal. And yeah, we'll end our turn. So he is going to deal 3 damage. So 1, 2, 3. He's going to bring 2 status cards into there. And he's going to come to our turn. We're going to draw 5 cards, have our energy back up, roll the dice. Don't really think there's much point in us doing it, but... because I'm assuming, yeah, we can just kill it. We'll just hit it with a bash. Bit of a bash straight away. That's 2 damage, and it is dead. And that is the boss done. That is the boss done. So we do that. Oh, I see why resetting the deck's useful. Because I wonder if it gets rid of does it get rid of the status cards? It does not. I wonder if it does it though at the start of the next act. Probably not. Let's just manually go through it. We'll take these cards out. Don't need those status cards anymore. So they can go back up into there. This card goes back onto here. Alright, what prizes do we get from the slime boss? We get 3 gold. So 1, 2, 3. Got tons of gold. Nice little gold reserve going on here. The boss relics. Now, I'm pretty sure we get to draw 4 relics, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check here in the rulebook, but I'm positive that we get to draw 4, might even be 3. Boss relic, reveal 1 boss per player plus 1. Reveal 3 instead if you're playing solo. Okay, so we're getting 3. So, 1, 2, 3. These are the choices that we can get. When we gain this, when obtained, we're going to get 2 curses. Which honestly might not be a bad shout, because we have so much money. All what we need to do come Act 2 is get to a shop to remove some cards. So it might mean the beginning of Act 2 is quite tough, but we can make it out. Sozu, which means that we can't gain any more potions. We do have 3 potions already, but it would be nice to gain more, or this one when you can't gain any more gold. And we do, honestly, we do have quite a decent amount of gold, but going to the shop is going to be very useful for us on this run. I think we go with Sozu, actually. I think not having any more potions is going to be better. I think I prefer that as an idea. You can't gain any more potions. So we still have these potions here that we can use. We just can't gain any more. And then we get a rare reward, which reveal 3 rare cards and add 1 of them to your deck. So let's have a look. We got Juggernaut. Whenever you gain armor, deal 1 damage. Double your strength with Limit Break or Impervious, where we can get 6 armor and exhaust. Limit Break is honestly probably the best one here for us, but we don't actually have any cards that sit there and give us strength right now. So it's kind of like, it's going to be sitting in our deck, kind of just lingering there whilst we wait. So I'm not entirely sure. We'll go Limit Break. We'll go Limit Break for now. Let's just go to the bottom of this. Okay. We'll get Limit Break. Cool. And then that is that done. We can now begin Act 2. Now, I know I said in the last video I was probably going to split it up into sections, depending on which act it is, but we'll go straight into Act 2 because it's been 30 minutes. I think because I was explaining how to play the game and how things worked, it obviously put a little bit extra time onto it. So we'll go straight into Act 2. So we can click Next Act. Let's see what it does. There we go. It's mixed everything up for us. Lovely. Okay. So, the start of the act, we're going to have a beginning encounter as per, but now it is the Sephiric Guardian. At the start of combat, it has 10 armor, which is quite a lot. And then it's going to gain 5 armor, then deal 5 damage, and going to keep on back and forth. This enemy doesn't lose armor at the end of its turn, so we have to deal damage for it to lose the armor. It does only have 5 HP, but the armor is in our way. So let's shuffle our deck, draw 5 cards, roll on the dice. Really seemed like it didn't move at all. That is 6, so we get to trigger a die ability. Which, what do we have? We have a hand full of some pretty good stuff. So on this 6, we're going to trigger this one so we can gain an extra energy to go to 4. Is what we'll do. We're not going to be getting any status cards apart from Wild Strike, so this card's kind of useless to us right now, but to be fair, we've got 4 energy anyway, so we're going to play this card, and then we're just going to play 1, 2, 3 for our last 3 energy, and that's going to be 3 damage, so all that's going to do is put him down to 7 block instead, which isn't going to do much, unfortunately. Oh shit, we're actually meant to have 1 more energy because of obviously Sozu, but we have no strength to double. Oh, do you know what? Actually, I am going to play this. So we don't get any strength from it because we don't have any, but we have no cards that gives us strength. So I'm just going to use it basically as a way to exhaust it. So there's no point that we're going to be able to get it back. Also, we were meant to have been on full health. Cool. So that's the end of the turn. He's going to deal 2 damage to us, which is ouchie. And he's going to gain 5 more armor. And he's going to move down to there. And it comes to our go. So normally when it comes down to Slay the Spire, a lot of the times, Act 2 is where a lot of your runs sort of end. So we've got 6 again. I think at this time we're going to gain ourselves a shield. Because knowing that we're going to be taking 5 damage. Ooh, look at that. Bludgeon. Actually, yeah, that's a double up. That's really good. Cool. So we're going to bludgeon for 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to deal 7 damage. So we'll just get rid of all of these shields. And then we're going to, honestly, Wild Strike. I think I'm going to sort of tank the damage on this one. We're going to Wild Strike because we've got the thing. So that's going to deal 3 damage. That's going to put him down to just 2 shield left now. He's on 7 health, technically. And that's going to put that up onto there. Discard our hand. He is going to deal 5 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's devastating, but hopefully we can sort of pull through. So we're going to draw another 5 cards. Going to do a roll. That's a 5. So that's going to gain us an armor. That's going to gain us another energy. So up to 5 energy. And because we just drew a status card, it's going to deal 2 damage to the row, which is going to get rid of his armor, which is really nice for us. And then he's on 5 HP. We can kill him with Perfected Strike. Look at that. That's going to deal 5 damage because it's a 3 plus 2. Cool. Lovely. So we can get rid of, we'll discard the hand. That's going to get rid of that for us. Reset all of our deck back together. That has killed him. We get 1 gold. And we get to pick a reward out the deck. Perfect. Spot weakness. So I'll show you what spot weakness is in a second. Let me just reset this down to the bottom of here. So spend 1, gain strength to any player if the die is a 1, 2, or 3. So spot weakness is kind of better in the game. You can use it. It's 1 energy to use it on an enemy that if they're going to attack you, you gain a strength. But on a 1, 2, or 3, we now have a chance to be able to gain a strength, which is very, very nice. We very much need that. So we heal the 1 after the combat as well. And remove the encounter. Let's see what we've got. Well, we're most certainly wanting to head for a shop. But the only issue with also heading for a shop is we kind of want bonfires. Our health is quite low. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have a way that we can go through where we can hit both bonfires and a shop. Unless we went this way. And I don't feel too comfortable about fighting an elite with the health that we currently have before the bonfire. So it might be that we just sort of head upwards. Or, yeah, it might be that we just head upwards. Because I think the shop's more important, first of all. Because I would like to try and do some removing cards and see if we can find something else to get some strength. It would be lovely like to take the gamble to go this way, though. I think this is... I'll be honest, I think this is a safer route. But we have so much gold that I would love to spend. But then you're gambling on spending the money. That's the other thing. It's like, yeah, we have money to buy stuff, but we're kind of gambling on what we're getting. At least going this... we're going to go to the right. I think it's just safer. Our health is already quite low. I don't want to push our luck too much. So, Colosseum. 1 choice for the party. We can warm up and we can fight an encounter, or we can do a main event and we can fight an elite. We'll just do a normal encounter. I'm not feeling confident in being able to do an elite. I mean, there's a reason why we're doing or in this. You're knocked unconscious and awaken in the underbelly of a Colosseum. Do you want to warm up the crowd or be the main event? We'll warm up the crowd. Oh, and that's already not a good set of people that I'm looking at there. I'm not happy with that. So we'll roll, and oof, even worse. Don't get anything on that one. Okay. Okay. Did we heal the 1? I don't think we did from our last encounter, did we? No, we did. Alright, this is going to be tough. So they're going to deal 1 damage and give us a daze, then 3 damage daze and 5 damage strength, and then repeat 3 damage, 5 damage, 3 damage, 5 damage. And they have a lot of HP, 14 HP, and this cultist is just going to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Don't really know who to focus on here. Well, we'll do the obvious. Literally is all we can do. So I'm going to spend 2 to get 2 armor, and then we're going to do 2 to the last 2 to do 2 damage. So it's just who we're dealing the 2 damage to more so. We're going to give it to the cultist because with 1 bludgeon we can hopefully finish him off because he's going to get strong quite quick. So we'll discard our hand. Then it's going to be their turn, so they're going to deal 1 damage and give a daze to us. And then that's going to move down 1, and you're going to deal 1 damage and gain a strength token. So then we go to the next round. So 5 cards. Do a roll. That's a 2, which we get to draw another card, which is nice. Okay. We could bludgeon and perfect strike. That's going to be 10 damage that we can get. Well, 12 damage overall. It won't quite kill her. That's the only issue. And we're going to be taking 5 damage this turn. So we need to kill one of them. It'd be nice though to get the defense up, won't it? Oh, is that the play? How much is that actually? That's 6 damage. No, okay. Oh, yeah, no, we can kill it. We can kill the other guy. So we're going to play this one for 1 to give us 2 armor. Then we're going to play Perfected Strike, which is going to deal 5 damage because we've got 1 strike in hand, which obviously we love that. So that is 5 damage, and we're going to deal it to this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's on 2 HP. We've got 1 mana left, and we're going to use the Wild Strike to be able to do that. So that's going to be 3 damage. We do need to put a daze on top of our deck. But that kills him off, so we don't need to deal with him anymore. which I think is good. Discard our hand. She's going to deal 3 damage and put 2 on top of our deck. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, we're going to have quite a lot of days in our hand this turn. Okay. 5 cards. Roll. Hopefully we get something where we can draw more cards. It's a 6, and with that 6, we're going to choose the draw more card ability. And we got fire breathing, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice to have had it like earlier. Okay, we're going to play Shrug It Off. So we'll get 2 armor, and we get to draw a card. We've got Spot Weakness, which is really useful in where we are currently. So the only things we can do is play that, and play this to gain 1 extra defense. That's all we can really do, and now we've just got things left over that we can't do anything with. So discard, well, just click the button to discard our hand. She's going to then deal 5 damage to us. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on 2 HP, and they're going to gain a strength, and that's going to go back up. So they're doing 4 damage to us next turn. Okay, so it's take those cards, take this, roll this. We got a 3, which is actually the worst thing we can get because there's nothing there for a 3 for us. We've got a bludgeon, which isn't going to really do much. I think, what can we do? So we can do 8 damage with these, and she's on what? 14 HP. We can do 8 damage, 9, 10. We can do 11 damage overall, but it won't kill her. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the weakness potion, and we're going to put 2 weakness tokens on her. That means for each attack, but then it only does it where, so basically this next attack, it's going to be 1 damage less, so it's going to be 3 damage instead. Deal -1 damage on each attack that you do, and you remove a token. So it's going to be 3 damage. Which we're still going to die. Actually, I've just realised that doesn't do anything for us. I still think we're dead. Because obviously we'll play the defense to gain the 1. And then we'll just bludgeon, because we can't do anything else. 1, 2, 3. We just bludgeon that. Discard our hand. That's 7 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're on 7 HP. But on their turn, they're going to do 4 damage, -1, 3 damage. So that's 1, 2, and we have 3. We're dead. We are just dead. Oh man, there's some rough rolls there. Straight into Act 2 with some rough builds. It's brutal. Honestly, Slay the Spire, the board game, is brutal. I think we need to focus way more on defense and not taking damage. Because in the board game, especially as in the video game story, when I play Slay the Spire, I kind of go I'm a lot more aggressive. I think you can get away with it. I don't think you can get away with it in this. And especially that fire breathing was one of the last cards that we drew on that. If we drew fire breathing earlier, we would have cleaned her. We would have wiped the floor with her. So that is unfortunate. Well, that is another Slay the Spire run, another attempt. At least we got to Act 2 this time. Maybe on the next one we get to Act 3. You don't level up in your Ascensions unless you defeat the Act 3 boss, I believe. If you're playing with other people and you defeat the Act 2 boss, you unlock the next Ascension. But if you're playing single player, you don't unlock the next Ascension unless you defeat the third boss. In which, as you can see here, after you defeat an Act 2 boss, Act 3, if you're playing solo, unlock Ascension 1. To unlock higher Ascensions, you must be playing with modifiers of all previous Ascension levels and defeat an Act 2 boss or Act 3 if you're playing solo. You don't have to play on the highest Ascension you've achieved, although you may want to revert the changes from the deck if you do. So that is what we're with. That is unfortunate. So thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next board game. Take care.